In today's video, I'll be discussing habits, particularly the 5 habits that got me through my teen years, because I'll be turning 18 in a few months, and it's just crazy to think how different my life has become as a result of staying consistent with these habits. Reflecting back from ages 12 to 15, I often tended to focus on the wrong things, such as junk food, video games, short-term pleasures, and although I don't really regret those times because I was young, I was a kid, I'm very grateful to now be on the path to living my dream life. I finally found my purpose, started doing very well in school, got in a relationship, and I'm now working to build my dream body. I'm not saying that I have it all figured out, I'm actually quite far from it. But when I reflect on the person I was a few years ago and the person I am now, I'm super happy to say that by implementing these small yet very simple habits, I managed to get my life in order. So here are the 5 habits that made me get my life together as a teenager. The first habit I like to call learn, and let me explain what that means. You see, to self-improve and become a better version of yourself, you need to constantly learn. As Brian Tracy once said, continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field. So if you want to achieve any kind of success in life, whether that's in school, in fitness, in your career, you need to set aside some time every single day to learn. I noticed that when us teenagers think of learning, we instantly associate it with school and sitting in a classroom whilst listening to a lecture. Well, guess what? That barely scratches the surface of what learning actually is. To become successful in your field, you need to actively learn. That means reading books, that means watching educational podcasts, analyzing movies. You need to genuinely become obsessed with whatever it is you want to pursue and actively start learning more about it. Let me give you an example. When I first started going to the gym as a complete dumbass newbie, I walked into the gym and made every single mistake possible. I did all the exercises incorrectly, ate the wrong foods, didn't know what workouts to do. If only I had bothered to pick up a book and actually learn about the subject, I would have been so much more successful. So ever since then, I have become obsessed with making the most progress possible in the gym. I started watching educational videos, listening to podcasts from my favorite fitness influencers, and buying workout programs. And let me just tell you, the ROI is absolutely insane. So an easy actionable step for you is to simply start setting aside some time every single day to learn, whether that involves picking up a book or just simply listening to a podcast while working out at the gym. And the most important thing is that you stay consistent, because this consistency will one day compound and will lead to insane results. The second habit that made me get my life together as a teenager is prioritizing my health. You see, as young teenagers, a lot of us fall into the trap of filling our bodies with crap, smoking, overdosing on alcohol, and we literally forget that our health is the most important thing ever. Because if you think about it, you wouldn't put the wrong petrol in your car because you know it wouldn't start. So why would you do it to your own body, the one thing you should be taking care of? As soon as I started working out 5 times a week, eating clean and controlling my cravings, I not only improved my physique, but I have also naturally improved my confidence, my mood, as well as my mindset. And I'm actually now very proud of my body, unlike many years ago where I would be scared to take my shirt off. So I will give you a few actionable steps you can do in order to improve your health. Number 1, join the gym and start working out at least 3 times a week, or you can do another sport. Number 2, take at least 10,000 steps a day. You can do this by going on walks, going to the park, etc, etc. Number 3, eradicate the junk food out of your diet and start eating clean. Number 4, follow the first principle, learn. Research how to eat healthy, how to train, and make sure to read books. This way you will learn heaps about health optimization. This is just the bare minimum you should be doing for your health, and in my opinion, there's absolutely no excuses to improve your health. With the amount of information out there on the line, you have absolutely no reason not to be healthy. Yes, it'll be uncomfortable and annoying getting rid of all your favorite foods, having to work out constantly and sacrifice time for that, but I promise you, the pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Thank me later. And this actually now brings me to a super important habit/skill that I believe every guy should develop within themselves. And this is self-accountability, which perfectly ties in with everything I've already talked about in this video. You see, self-accountability is a beautiful thing because it gives us complete control over our destinies. When you start to see life through a lens of everything that happens to me is my fault, you become so much more powerful and confident. You start to become self-reliant because you understand that number 1, no one's coming to save you, and number 2, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. You see, the reason most people are unhappy with their lives is because they're in denial. They refuse to admit their flaws and mistakes. After all, it's so much easier to just blame someone else for your flaws than it is to admit that maybe you messed up somewhere. But I promise you, as soon as you take self-accountability, you'll instantly be in a perfect position to improve your life and fix all of your flaws. For example, imagine your girlfriend breaks up with you after a long 3-year relationship, and here you would have 2 options. Option A, you could blame and accuse the girlfriend for the breakup, or you can do option option B, where you take self-accountability, you analyze why she broke up with you, and you work on yourself to make sure it doesn't happen in your next relationship. Do you notice how option B instantly puts you in the mental state of a winner? Because even if it wasn't your fault that she broke up with you, maybe the girl was just terrible, she was a horrible person, you're still giving yourself space to analyze yourself and actually not repeat the same mistakes. This is such a simple yet super powerful habit / skill that I believe every single guy should develop within themselves, especially as a teenager. The fourth habit on our list is self-care, which is by far the most overlooked habit, yet the most obvious one. We've all heard of the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, but when it comes to our physical appearance, this is complete garbage. Humans instinctively judge each other based on their appearance, which is why it's very important that you take care of yourself and actually have a proper self-care routine. You see, looking good isn't self-importance, looking good is self-respect. So if people see that you stink and you don't shower, you don't take care of yourself, they'll instantly assume that you don't respect yourself, which in turn will prevent them from respecting you. So if you do want to achieve a glow up, it all starts from the small things like taking care of yourself, brushing your teeth, smelling nice, wearing clean ironed clothes. And if you do want to achieve a glow up, I have a full video on my channel about that, so make sure to check it out afterwards. There is absolutely nothing wrong with taking care of yourself as a man. A lot of people think it's feminine, but in my opinion, it's actually very masculine to take care of yourself. So if you take those steps and develop some kind of routine, you'll notice that your confidence will just skyrocket. Taking care of myself is literally the first thing I started doing in high school because I just understood how important it actually is. So definitely make sure not to overlook this simple yet very effective habit. This brings me to the last habit which completely changed my life, and this is the concept of delaying gratification. In this day and age, we are more than ever surrounded by instant gratification. From junk food to social media, literally everything around us is designed to make us weak, addicted, and complacent. Our human brain is naturally attracted to the things which give us pleasure rather than pain, which is why it's so easy to go down the wrong path. After all, it's just so much easier to give in, to eat the junk food, to watch the next Netflix episode, to skip the gym, than it is to actually put yourself through the comfort. However, in life, I learned that the more you can delay gratification, the better your life will be in the future. And this is what separates the winners from the losers. The winners are constantly putting themselves through discomfort in order to callous their brain, which puts them ahead of everyone else. And as a fact, I really want to share something interesting with you. I recently heard of something called the marshmallow test, which was performed in the 1960s on hundreds of children. The test involved giving children a marshmallow and telling them that they could either eat the marshmallow right now, or they could wait some time, leave it on the table, and then they would get a second one shortly after. So essentially, they gave the kids the opportunity to delay gratification and double the reward, or they could simply not delay gratification and get what they desire instantly. And the reason why this experiment is so famous is because the researchers followed the kids for the next 40 years of their life, and they found that the kids who managed to delay the gratification and get the 2 marshmallows ended up being more successful in life, whether that's academically, in school, with work life, and family. So yes, that's something for you to think about. And on that note, I want to end off the video. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I promise you that if you implement all of these habits in your life, you're going to become unrecognizable by next year, and your entire view of the world is going to completely change. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Пока.